I can't believe it. Mr. George Washington Carver. Thank you for taking me in as your mentee. I can hardly believe that I will work with one of the greatest minds of the time.
I am, but no need for the flattery. I am happy to have a brilliant young man such as yourself to share my scientific findings and my naughty secrets with.
Excuse me, sir. What did you say?
I said that I'm very happy to have such a brilliant young man to share my scientific findings and my naughty little secrets with. Let's dive in.
Okay.
Here, I'm developing a peanut potion to treat goiter. Here, you'll see that I have developed a system for using peanuts to be transformed into home insulation.
Both are amazing.
And here we skip ahead a few little steps to what is my most important and naughty little secret work of all. I'm altering scientific genome of the peanut for the purpose of weaponization.
You're working on a secret weapon for the United States government to use in war?
Yes, the war against the whites.
What?
I am working tirelessly to create a strand of peanut that all white children will be allergic to.
Jesus! You're trying to kill white children?
No, not kill them. Just make them uncomfortable. Just make it so that they can't enjoy birthday parties or trips to the circus.
Why would you do such a thing?
Little Miss Sally, the child of one of our trustees, likes to come in here and eat up all my peanut butter. I have bread, but not peanut butter? I'm George Washington Carver. How does that look?
That's it? You want to make a race of children allergic because one child eats up your peanut butter?
And also, I may be motivated a bit by slavery. That's if I'm even allowed to talk about slavery anymore here in 1899.
Sir, now what callous individual would say that you shouldn't talk about such a devastating thing?
You'd be surprised.
I can't let you do it.
It's already been done.
Hello, Uncle George.
Well, hello, Miss Sally. I've got something for you.
Hello, little miss. My name is William. Don't eat the peanut butter.
You shouldn't tell me what to do. I should tell you what to do.
Little missy, slavery is over.
You're right. And I don't want to hear one word about it ever.
One peanut butter sandwich coming right up.
Thank you. I'm feeling uncomfortable.
You really are the greatest mind of our generation.
I told you.
Hi, I'm Laura Canty Samuel, and I'm your host. Welcome to the Goss. It's Black History Month, and when it comes to Black news and culture, oh yeah, we have an opinion. Who is the most important Black American in the history of our nation? Barack Obama or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Neither one of them. It is every single Black person who, in spite of difficulty, desperation, and Don King, lived and lived abundantly. People like Bessie Coleman, born in 1892, and by 1919 was flying airplanes. She was the first licensed Black pilot in the world. She was the first licensed pilot in North America. The Wright brothers, Amelia Earhart, y'all better step back and recognize Bessie Coleman's Black girl magic. She believed she could fly, and she did. She is one of our unsung heroes, and there are so many more. Have you ever heard of Bayard Rustin? Born in 1912, he was an American civil rights activist and an advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. He was also the main organizer of the March on Washington in 1963. He was considered to be one of the most brilliant minds of the generation and served tirelessly. Why haven't you heard of him? Why wasn't he on the front lines, front and center at the march? Because he was a communist and he was gay, which at the time was very controversial, so considered a liability. Now it's just another night on VH1. There are so many other names like Robert Sangstack Abbott, born in 1870. He was founder of the weekly newspaper, The Chicago Defender. he and his newspaper played an integral part in encouraging African Americans to migrate from the South for better economic opportunities. I mean, technically, racist white folks in the South should have erected a statue to Mr. Abbott for getting black folks the hell up on out of there. Then you have Maria P. Williams, born in 1866. She was the first black woman to produce, write, and act in her own movie, the 1923 film, The Flames of Wrath. And she didn't even have an iPhone or a YouTube account. Then there was Claudette Colvin, born in 1939, who at 15 was the first person to actually not get up and move to the back of the bus. It happened in 1955. Now, I think I know why we never heard of her, because she was a teenager, and teenagers are miserable. And everybody knows if you see a teenager on the bus, you just leave them alone. Let them be. There are so many people who have carved out a path for the rest of us to walk on, unsung heroes from the past, and those who are here for us even today. Here are my personal top 5 unsung heroes. 1. The original owner of the now sadly closed Chester Avenue Bakery in Philadelphia, PA. I don't know his name, but I do know that as a child, his gingerbread was a delight. Number 2, the housekeeper at the racist B&B my husband and I stayed at in South Carolina. She gave us extra towels in spite of old Miss Missy. Number 3, the black lady in the store who always yells, "Put more people on the register." Number 2, the woman at the movie theater who straight roasted breaking in. That lady should have been credited as a supporting actress because she was hilarious. She stole the show. Sorry, Gabrielle. And number 1, it's a tie. My mother and my grandmother, both dynamic women who fostered my creativity and made innumerable sacrifices for family. They made me who I am, and I'm pretty damn dope. And that's my hot guys on Black history and our unsung African American heroes.
The Goss brings you the true story of the biggest legend you've never heard of. This is the story of the great Lenora Dubois. Well, to be honest, great is a stretch. Singer, dancer, actress, spy. Lenora Dubois was horrible at all of it. But one thing she did do was clout chase. Today, we bring you her lost interview.
Your life is fascinating, but very few people know who you are. Why is that? You do not see the wind, but yet you breathe, oui? I am like the breaking wind, a vapor that wafts through the breeze. Like a fart. I am not a fart.
Born Loretta Mae Duke in rural North Carolina, she left her family pig farm with big city dreams and very little talent. Disillusioned when townsfolk said her voice was, quote, worse than a squeaking hog at slaughter.
That was my father.
Loretta Mae packed her bag and headed to Hollywood. That's when she met someone special.
Sammy Davis Jr. and I had a 4-month torrid affair, but it did not last. Why? Because he kept leaving his glass eye all over the house. Everywhere I look, there goes a glass eye. I do the laundry, it's a glass eye. I get orange juice, it's a glass eye in the refrigerator. I go to the pool, I dive in, and it's a glass eye at the bottom of the pool. Why did he leave it around like that? Sammy was a very, very jealous man. He said, I leave my eye around so I can keep an eye on you.
After her affair with Sammy, Lenora took acting classes with other starlets, including Eartha Kitt.
Eartha and I were the best of friends. We were both auditioning for the part of Catwoman in Le Batman. That bitch stole my part. My screen test was impeccable. Meow, meow, meow. Meow. See? Pure perfection for le cinéma. You were indeed robbed. And that's when I decided to take my talents to the City of Lights, Paris. Lenora yet again prepared to pack her bags and live out her dreams. Unfortunately, due to a mix-up with a drunken travel agent, she ended up not in Paris, France, but instead in Paris, Idaho. When I get to the city, I ask the people, où est l'Eiffel Tower? Where is the Eiffel Tower? And they say to me, what's an Eiffel Tower? And that's when I knew I was in the Commonwealth. But still, I took Paris by storm and became the biggest star in the city. So when did you make it to France? France? Why would I go to France? I made it to Paris. How did you get that accent? What do you mean accent?
Next time on Goss True Story, find out how Lenora went from the stage to failed harmonica playing spy.
Hello, and welcome to my salute to Black History Month's chosen heroes, Black Jews. Black Jews are often individuals with one Jewish parent. Tiffany Haddish, Tracy Ellis Ross, Lenny Kravitz, David Diggs, Maya Rudolph. And there are lots of perks to being born Jewish. Purim carnivals, bagels, and getting a space laser for your bar mitzvah. But there's also some challenging DNA tied up in Jewish heritage, and for individuals who are born Black and Jewish, that means double the inherited trauma and double the lactose intolerance. So to these unsung heroes, I say, much respect. Side note, you're not missing much on cheese. Burrata is totally overrated. No, that's a lie. Burrata is delicious, it's worth the diarrhea. In addition to Black Jews who have been born into their faith, there are also Black Jews who have converted to Judaism, such as Sammy Davis Jr., Shine, and Cindy in Season 3 of Orange is the New Black. To these intrepid souls, I give a double salute. Black Jews not only have to endure racism, but also anti-Semitism. And while lots of people face more than one kind of discrimination, most of those are not the result of something you sign up for. That's why Black Jews who have converted get major mitzvah points. Despite already living in a world filled with racism, they joined a religion with a 3,000-year history of persecution by choice. Sammy Davis Jr., who is perhaps the most famous example, converted shortly after a car accident in which he lost his left eye. This is a Black man who woke up in a hospital bed in 1954 with only one eye and thought, you know what my life needs? Nazis. But I guess that means conversion was a fitting choice. He was clearly a man with chutzpah. And yes, this is my second time using chutzpah as a punchline on the Goss, because I too have chutzpah. So to all the Black Jews celebrating Black History Month, I raise you a toast and a tip of the yarmulke. L'chaim.
Hi, it's February, and these are my unsung heroes of Black history. Kimberly Crenshaw is a lawyer, academic, and social theorist who coined the term intersectionality. She saw that feminism and anti-racist theory were not addressing violence against Black women and created critical race theory. Big up to Kimberly Crenshaw. And then there's Patricia Hill Collins. She's an American sociologist who furthered the ideas of Black feminism by coining the term outsider within to describe the experiences of Black women within the academy. And she's part of the reason I became a sociologist. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I shouldn't be coming up with this list. Like, who am I to tell you which Black people are heroes? I'm a Mexican and Filipino lady who is not Black. Except for one time in Costa Rica, someone told me it's a weird story. You know what? Let's not get into it. The point is, there are plenty of awesome Black people in the world. Like, I know several of them. For example, my friend Tiara, she's fucking dope. One time we went to this Korean spa. We were in there for 24 hours and overnight.
They closed the restaurant early. We were so hungry and I just wanted to spend more money while I was at the spa. And I was like, dog, you can't give us like a little soup?
And she gave them what for. So, hero in my book. Sidebar, Tiara can totally post a thirst trap better than anyone I know. Hashtag trap queen. And then there's my friend Talia. She is so funny and she creates things all the time. She's inspiring and you should follow her on Instagram. Talia's World. And I mean, also like, Laura, you keep this show going week after week and you let me come even after you've seen what I put up. I am sorry, but thank you, hero. And also, one time Shem, he gave me food when I was super hungry and I am not a vegan, but I ate it all. And thanks, Shem. Hero. Payvar. I think I owe you $5. Hero. And Greg, you always make me laugh. Hero. Hero, 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 hero. Hero? Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's also good to recognize that as a non-Black individual, I benefit from the work that Black people have done in terms of political organizing, in terms of the academy, and in terms of just being fucking awesome people. For example, Jerry Garcia Watts was my advisor and mentor in graduate school. He passed not too long ago, but I still take with me all the amazing lessons that he gave me about how to be a solid academic, how to not be afraid of grad school, to never cower from a teacher even though you didn't turn in your work on time, and in general, just how to be a fucking good person, because that's what he was. So Jerry Garcia Watts is an unsung Black hero. I can get behind that. For the Goss, I'm Dominique Nesperos.
Hi, I'm Greg Cornejo with The Goss. Although I believe Black history is just history, I can appreciate celebrating Black history in the month of February. Rosa, Malcolm, Martin, Angela, great America. But today, we're going to talk about some unsung Black heroes. This is Mary Van Britten Brown. She was a nurse who invented the home security system. Some say it was created because of all of the crime in Queens during the 1960s. Word on the street is Mr. Brown was creepy. She didn't have time to stay up and catch him sneaking in the house in the middle of the night. She had to work a 12-hour shift. So she put cameras in her door's peephole, a TV monitor in her room, a button to contact the police, a button to unlock the door, and an intercom system. So she could tell Mr. Van Britten Brown, stay in the streets with that bitch you was with. This is Frederick McKinley Jones. He was an inventor with over 60 patents, from audio-visual equipment to different types of engine. One of his most important inventions was the refrigerated truck. Some say it was created because the country needed a way to transport produce and keep it fresh across the country. Word on the street is his co-workers didn't want to sit next to him in the truck, so they sent him to the back. Dirty damn racist. He created a refrigeration system so it could be cooler in the back of the truck. He was trying to put jacuzzis and all types of stuff in there. But his co-workers realized that you could just put produce in it and they'd make more money. This is Mark Dean. He was the chief engineer at IBM in the early 1980s. I think Cory Booker's parents were somewhere in there too. He was the person who invented the color monitor. Some say he created it to make a faster, better, more colorful, detached monitor. Word on the street is he wanted to see titties in Technicolor. Sounds like a music. I'd watch it. Thank you for joining me and celebrating unsung Black heroes. And remember, every month is Black History Month. For real.
Black people have given the world so much, from 3 snaps in Z formation to when you nut and she can't stop sucking memes. Oh, and art and history and the viable alternative to ruthless capitalism. But I wanted to shout out a couple of childhood heroes of mine, the black characters in 80s cartoons. Well, as you know, black people love anime. Why? I'm not allowed to speak for all black people. It's the only feedback I get on this segment. But what I am allowed to do is this list. First up, Orange Blossom from Strawberry Shortcake. They gave this little black girl a butterfly as a pet. That's so disrespectful. A butterfly is like an ex-smoker or someone who's just trying out a new fad diet. Go, you can change your life if you really want to, but what if I like my life as it is? I'm not gonna lie to you, Payvar told me to mention Orange Blossom and I had to look her up. There's different versions of Orange Blossom, including Baby Blowkiss, Party Pleaser, and Sweet Sleeper. I'm not clicking on any of those links. Payvar, are you trying to get me deported? Next, Daffy Duck. There's a whole section of the internet still asking, why is Daffy Duck black? And I imagine Daffy has that internal struggle too. Maybe if I was a white duck, I could have joined the Navy. Honourable mention goes to the only black duck in Duck World and Howard the Duck. Quack quack. Wait, sorry, I have to make a quick video for work.
Coming at ya. Bounce out, disaster. Coming at ya. At ya. Tell you what's master. Coming at ya. Coming at ya.
Next up, Jazz from the Transformers. Now, there's no reason to introduce race in a series about fighting cars. I mean, technically, nowhere does it say that Jazz is black, but he is a music-loving robot who speaks in slang and all continuity is transformed into a sports car. He's got rims, that robot's black as fuck. Next up, Storm from the X-Men, who was Dundee in the first X-Men movie with a line she says to a character called Toad,
What happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
the same thing that happens to everything else. That's a classic false dilemma logical fallacy, and Aurora deserves better. And last up, Planet Dwarf from the Thundercats. Darker skin than all the other Thundercats, for no reason. He was coded so black he should have been called 000000. Sound off in the comments if you understood that joke. He had to have his own side hustle as a mechanic. Panther has his own disco theme. And he even owns nunchucks, like every black dude born in the 80s. That's right, black people, I am gonna speak for you. Tricked you!